Therefore, since I myself have carefully investigated everything from the beginning, it seemed good also to me to write an orderly account for you, most excellent Theophilus, so that you may know the certainty of the things you have been taught. These are the words of Luke in the Gospel of Luke, talking about the account of Jesus Christ and what happened to him in the Bible. This is section 1 of our 4-part video about the proofs for the Bible, and it's the eyewitness proof that I want to talk about today. You see, the Bible claims itself that it is historical. It claims that if you would study it and you would see the truth in it, that you would find that there is nothing not historical about it. Luke is a writer that says this: I'm going to gather up eyewitness accounts. It says in the first chapter of Luke, I'm going to gather up eyewitness accounts, and I'm going to gather up other reliable sources, and I'm going to write you an orderly account of exactly what happened to Jesus. Now, Luke is a doctor, and he takes his education very seriously. And so he's not just going to write a bunch of fluff. He's actually trying to do a systematic discovery of what happened to Jesus. You have 3 eyewitness accounts: Matthew, Mark, and John. Now, what's interesting about these eyewitnesses is that in all of their books, they do not contradict each other. Now, one might leave out a little bit of the story, and the other might add to a little bit more details in the story. But imagine if we were to have a court case and we were to take 3 witnesses of something that didn't happen. Let's say we took 3 false witnesses of a bank robbery that didn't actually take place. And we sat them down at a different desk at a different time and asked them each what exactly happened. Now, you would get all kinds of contradictions and variances in the story. And even if the story was true, sometimes you would get those contradictions and things. But it's very interesting that these 3 books, untampered with for thousands of years, have the same stories and do not conflict in their details. This is what Luke is talking about. I'm trying to gather with you a reliable source for what happened to Jesus. This is what makes the Bible so reliable, is these eyewitnesses' accounts. You can't do anything with them. These people wrote the same things that happened. Now, let's say that you don't agree with the Bible in itself, and you want a little bit more extra biblical or outside of the Bible references for Jesus and for the things that happened during the Acts of the Apostles. Well, that's no problem. In fact, there are 45 other references to Jesus and his crucifixion. But here are just a couple more. Tacitus writes about the death of Jesus under Pontius Pilate in the 60s A.D. Suetonius writes about how Christians were spreading through Rome only 20 years after Jesus' death. Pliny the Younger was a Roman governor, wrote about Jesus. And Josephus gives us a beautiful testimony saying that Jesus not only died, but that he rose again. And many, many others. I could go on for days about the extra-biblical correlation between the eyewitnesses and the other historical writers of the day. And all the details match up. That makes for a pretty good case.